I'm Nicola Cairncross. I live in Shoreham by Sea, and I grew up on the south coast. And I've always been interested in everything, nosy, some might say. I've always known I wanted to be self-employed. So from the age of about 12, I was out doing horrible jobs, but also teaching myself to sew so that I could make clothes for myself that I couldn't afford because I grew up in a working class background. And then I ended up going to art college and making new romantic waistcoats for boutiques locally and putting myself through college doing that because I was a mature student. I don't know how mature you are at 21, but I was older than the other kids. So I did have some sort of semblance of a work ethic, having worked in Southern Water and hairdressers for a long time. Bought my first house at 18 with my friend Kim, who was 19, and she was a self-employed hairdresser. She had all the money and I had the job at Southern Water. So we bought a 3-bedroomed house with a dining room and a kitchen and breakfast room. So it actually slept 4 and still had a living room.
Nice.
And 5 if we just use the breakfast room. So we filled it full of others. Chris the Punk was a notable tenant who taught me all about David Bowie. We bought it for 27,500, and now it's worth over 500,000. So that particular house in that particular road. So I always thought it wasn't for me because I didn't have any money. And then I read a book called Rags to Riches Through Real Estate by Russ Whitney. And he talked about how he first started buying properties no money down while he was slaughtering hogs for $5 an hour. And I thought, I wonder if you could do that in the UK. And the first thing I went out and bought was a 12-bedroom hotel, very rundown from 20 odd years. And he was looking to get out. So we had a motivated seller. We had a rundown property that was structurally sound. We had the potential for a business in a freehold property. And because I'd read that book and been to several workshops like Rick Otton, We Buy Houses.
Oh,
Do you remember him? And
no, I'm looking forward to your next portrayal of an accent from overseas. To be fair,
and it's like singing. It sounds great in my head, and then when it comes out, it's terrible. But I have a go anyway. So yeah, and I bought this property in early 2000. Yeah, I went to my bank manager. I put a business plan together. He said yes initially. The bank said no. We rejigged the offer and managed to buy it.
yeah,
And then I was already teaching people how to do things with money as I was learning, because I reached an epiphany point, really sick of being skint, sick of working hard, sick of getting nowhere, sick of always having to go and get shit jobs and not getting anywhere. Because I'm an entrepreneur, I want to make things happen. I want to move fast. The hotel was a brilliant opportunity for me. And that's one day I remember sitting in the front room of the hotel and thinking, I could combine what I'm teaching people into a program, a 1-year program, and I could have people come and have workshops at my own hotel. And that was when the Money Gym was born. And that day was a complete epiphany day. I had the idea, I worked out the details, and then I wrote an email out to my mailing list that I'd been building up since 98, email mailing list. And I sent it out and I came back to 64 grand's worth of business, people just signing up on the spot. And that was a life changer. Well, the hotel was a life changer to start with because it made me realize how the money system works. The same day I got a letter telling me I could have 300 grand for the mortgage on the hotel, I got a letter from Branson's Virgin credit card company saying, you can't have a credit card for £1,000.